Hi everybody, this is Everyday Commentary, and this is a video overview of this knife. And this knife is the HEST Urban from DPX Gear. And this knife was originally released or sold through Kickstarter, and now they're going to sell it through their normal retail channels. I posted a long time ago, well, in January, about why a Kickstarter knife was really important. And basically, the argument is pretty simple, that Kickstarter is a platform that gets eyeballs on knives that normally would not look at knives, and that Kickstarter allows people to do experiments, even established companies like DPX Gear, to do experiments on knives without really subtracting from their overall health, financial health. This knife is much smaller than pretty much any other DPX knife. There was the DPX Heat, which was basically a robust small folder. So it's not exactly the smallest knife of their lineup, but it is definitely the nicest of the DPX knives that I've handled. So I reviewed a HEST 2, which fixed the point problem. There was and the HEST 1, the point of the blade stuck out right in front of the parrot's beak, so it didn't quite exactly conceal the tip. But here, this knife is really quite nice. It was produced entirely in the United States. The steel is S30V, so it's a United States-made steel, obviously from Crucible. The titanium and all of the machining were done by a United States company. I believe it's the guy that produces the injector knife. I forget what it's called, but anyway, whatever his name is, doesn't really make a difference. This is a knife that's made for DPX by a United States company. The knife had 4 different versions. There was this, which is the sterile version. And by sterile, they really mean sterile. Like, there's nothing on the blade. There's nothing on the handles. The only branding or markings are right there. So this just says patents, and then this is the DPX word mark. But the knife itself is basically the HEST shrunk down. It still has the wire stripper jimping and the hex bit holder lanyard hole. Mine came with a tungsten carbide glass breaker, and it also came with just a regular bolt, which I've used. Having the tungsten carbide glass breaker on the thing made it so that when you dug your hand in to get the knife, occasionally you'd poke it, and it's pretty sharp. So the knife itself is relatively thick, as you can see. I mean, this is a pretty chunky knife. Let me see if I can wheel in something as a size comparison. Hold on 1 second. This is a size comparison on the thickness between this knife and the 940-1. As you can see, this is an exceptionally light and thin knife given its size. This knife, on the other hand, is not light and thin given its size. It is definitely over the 4-ounce mark. The knife runs on bearings, and let me see if I can get this to work. I mean, just a slight push on the thumb stud, and the knife comes flying out. The knife has what is basically like a foggy mirror, although I think it's intended to be polished with a stonewash on top. The knife has a very, very pronounced hollow grind. The edge when I got it was sharp, but not razor sharp. It also didn't have exactly the finest finish to it. This was not, the edge itself was not finished to something like a Spyderco. A good Spyderco knife has an edge that's better. There is a lock bar insert, and there is absolutely no stickiness in the blade. Additionally, even way out at the tip, really wrenching on it, there's no blade play up and down or side to side. Disengagement is quite easy. The little hook feature, you can use it to open bottles. You can also use it to pull out of your knife, and it will pop, or pull a knife out of your pocket and pop the blade open at the same time. The knife came very, very delayed. So this was supposed to get to my it's supposed to be delivered sometime, I think, by the end of February, and it came right at the end of May. Not a really big deal, but it's kind of par for the course for a lot of the Kickstarter products. This is the first knife that was posted on Kickstarter, and I have a review of the second knife, or an overview of the second knife coming up very soon. One of the things that came with it was this leather pouch. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it, because in the pouch it's like huge, huge, huge. And I don't know if I really want to carry this around in my pocket. The leather is okay. It's not fantastic. The branding is good. The fit and finish is decent. I mean, this is not like super crooked stitching. The rivets are nice, but it's just not something I'd ever use. The one major thing that I would say about this knife, the one major flaw, is this pocket clip is way, way, way too stiff. When it came, it was probably 1/4 of an inch off the blade, or off the handle, so I had to take this off and bend it back into shape and put it back on. And I've been tweaking it ever since, and I just can't seem to get the right tension. As it is right now, it's almost touching, but not quite. Let's see. You can hear that it actually clicks when it touches. And it's very, very, very tough to get this knife in and out of the pocket. And I figure that once things get a little worn down and smoothed out, and the pocket clip gets a little less tuning fork-like, it will be better. Overall, I'm quite impressed. I'm very pleased with the fit and finish of the knife. It was definitely worth the wait. They got it dialed in perfectly. The other thing is, this knife is up for Blade of the Year, People's Choice Blade of the Year at Blade Show this year. And I'm going to try to get this video up. If you could, it'd probably be a good idea to vote for this knife, and here's why. If we want more interesting experimental designs, then knives need to come out on Kickstarter, because small companies like Spyderco and other companies, it's really hard for them to produce really unusual experimental knives, though that is not from Spyderco. And Kickstarter offers them a way to do that. I don't think, like some people, that Kickstarter is designed exclusively for dudes in their garage making stuff, or dudettes in their garage making stuff. I think that big companies or established companies that are small, like Spyderco, or other companies, could take advantage of the platform as well. And so this is a really important knife. If it was an important but bad knife, maybe I would say, nah, don't vote for it. But because it is an important but good knife, I think it's probably worth your vote. Not sure what else is out there, but I do know that the Urban is up for voting. So this is an overview of the DPX HEST Urban. A written review will be coming soon. If you're going to Blade Show, or if you're at Blade Show, vote for the Urban. Thanks.